What exactly is it about my snacks that you are so obsessed with? What is it?
I don't know. It's just so weird. We never seen anything like that, and it's like you can't find them in normal places, can you? I don't. We don't know, do we, Tilly? Maybe. Maybe we know. I don't know.
Well, why don't you try one and find out?
Okay. Right. Who's gonna go first? Grab one. Okay. Okay. Ready? They're actually quite nice. Yeah, no joke. It's nice. Very nice.
There we go. We discovered you like shiitake mushroom crisps.
Yay!
By the way, this is not a sponsorship.
I think we would like to be sponsored, but no.
Yes, if anybody wants to sponsor us by buying us a supply of shiitake mushroom crisps, then yeah, you know where to go. We got a Patreon after all. Right. Well, given that snacks are a thing, I think it's time we played.
Yeah?
My Daughter's Keeper presents Maulling of Death, a system-agnostic scenario adapted for Cairn the RPG. Session 1, Chicken Nugget of Destiny. The Imperial road narrows as it curls beneath the eaves of the eastern forest, an impressive place of crooked branches, fetid moss, and whispering things left best unlistened to. The air grows thick with the perfume of damp bark, sweat, and unexpectedly burnt oil. From ahead, the clatter of wooden wheels and the sizzle of bubbling fat cuts through the hush of the woods. Around the bend trundles a rickety cart, barely holding together under the weight of a blackened iron cauldron filled with suspiciously hot oil. A greasy banner hangs from its side, bearing the crude emblem of a deep-fried drumstick wreathed in a questionable steam. Pulling this contraption is a woman best described as unfortunate. Gaunt, hollow-eyed, with the skin that looks like it's been parboiled and then left out in the wind. Her hair, stringy and slick with kitchen filth, is tied back in a practical but wholly unsanitary knot. She mutters curses under her breath as she drags the cart like some penitent beast of burden. Seated atop the cart on a rickety throne nailed to crates of pickled turnips and mystery fowl, her sister reclines with the air of a fallen queen. Laran Glass, merchant of things that should not be fried. Her frizzy hair is a halo of steam and salt, her garish livery stained by ancient oil burns and recent panic. She is chewing on a stick of something yellow and clearly once alive. A merciful thinning of trees reveals the valley below, a crooked scar carved by the sluggish silt-choked artery known as the River Wyrmscale. Named, as local legend has it, for the scale of a draconic corpse still half buried in the riverbed. Others say it's just rock formations, but what do peasants know about relics? The town squats low and mean beside the water like something trying not to be noticed. The town itself is a mishmash of timber rot and the sour tang of smoked fish. Weather-beaten shingles cling to crooked rooftops. Rusty prayer flags flap on listing poles. Dogs bark at nothing in particular, and always there is the wind carrying the scent of brine, bog, and things that do not rot naturally. So you've travelled down the mountains into Wyrmscale Brae village. It's fishy, it's quiet. Yeah, it's a typical fishing town on the river, and you know you're going to have to stop here for the night before you head into the Imperial city. Kenora has pulled the food cart into town, whilst Laran has been sat on it, holding court. Your long demoted sister, long-time servant to the food industry, she's pretty well put upon. Yeah, you don't exactly treat her well. but you realise that tonight you are both going to have to put up together in the local tavern.
Okay.
But before you do that, you're in the village. The market square, mud-caked and uneven, hosts a sparse handful of traders in the last gasps of commerce. Their carts creak as they pack up spoiled roots and half-sold brine pickles, muttering about what the river gave and what it shouldn't have. A trio of fishermen hunched over specially built hand trailers, unloading squirming heaps of silver-scaled river catch that twitch and stare like they know something, and they probably do. To one side of the square stands a tavern of rare contradiction, the Brae's End. Solid beams, swept steps, and freshly oiled hinges, an establishment suspiciously well maintained in a town where even the dogs limp. Its lanterns already lit, casting golden light over the darkening square, inviting warmth, or at least drink strong enough to forget the cold. And by the tavern's flank, half-nailed to a splintered frame of driftwood, the village notice board leans like it's ashamed of its own contents. Faded flyers, ink-smudged warnings, and a few fresh scraps flap in the wind, waiting for eyes desperate enough to read them. Overhead, the clouds turn low and slow, the smell of oil and river rot rides on the breeze. Wyrmscale does not smile, but it doesn't bite unless you stay too long. You had the village to explore.
Notice board, Tilly? Yeah, notice board.
The notice board groans on rusted hinges as a gust tugs at its patchwork of proclamations and desperate scrawlings. At the top, stamped with the cracked seal of the town bailiff, is a hastily pinned warning. Travellers be advised, goblin raiders sighted east of the Wyrmscale, near the forest margins. Livestock taken, one hunter found, partially. Do not travel unarmed, do not travel alone, do not answer whistles in the dark. Beneath that, printed in a fine script and altogether too cheerful for the setting, reminder, all pilgrims and travellers bound for the great festival at the Imperial city must observe curfew, be indoors by dusk. Failure to comply may be interpreted as subversion, heresy, or loitering, any of which will be fined. And pinned low, torn, rain-warped, and barely clinging to the board with a bent fishhook, is a more desperate notice written in a careful but shaky hand. Missing 3 acolytes of Haldir, last seen entering the eastern woods to gather herbs for the temple's healers. They wore white. If you find them, or what's left, inform the temple gatekeepers. There may be coin, there will be prayers. A smear of dry blood, not recent, obscures the bottom corner. Whether from the acolytes or a careless pinning is left to the imagination. Do you want to act on any of this information?
Yes.
What would you like to do then?
I would like to, look, missing acolytes. Yeah. Those.
Yeah, maybe doing a favor for the local priests would put you in good stead. Looming just beyond the borders of the town itself, half swallowed by the tree-choked hills, the Temple of Haldir casts its long shadow down the valley. Its great dome gleams dully through the mist, like an eye that never sleeps. Pilgrims claim it watches over them, and locals know better. The path to the temple winds up through a veil of mist and old incense, the forest encroaching like a curious dog, never quite touching the sacred soil, but close enough to breathe it in. The Temple of Haldir reveals itself not in grandeur, but in pressure. The way light seems to bend around its great circular form, how even the birds grow silent as you draw near. Its gardens are surprisingly alive. Acolytes in plain white robes, hoods drawn, faces unreadable, move silently through the orderly beds of herbs, medicinal roots, and creeping vines. They harvest with gloved hands and slow, reverent gestures, as though plucking secrets rather than plants. Bronze wind chimes hang from stone arches, ringing in the breeze. Not tuneful exactly, but regular, like the breathing of something asleep. A cart of freshly tilled soil passes, trailed by two younger acolytes. The soil is dark, rich, and steaming slightly, though the air is cool. You catch a glimpse of a beetle the size of a child's thumb wriggling free before promptly being crushed underfoot without ceremony. Near the great oaken doors of the temple itself, a gardener, old, hunched, with a face like cracked parchment, feeds kitchen scraps into a low stone pit. When one of the scraps twitches, he pushes it down with the heel of his boots and doesn't break rhythm. Despite the activity, there is an absence to the place, a hollow in the air, a sort of silence one only hears when something is missing. As you reach the steps, a younger sister, no more than 18 winters, awaits, clutching a wooden staff and a scroll of names. Her expression is calm, but her eyes are not. "You've come about the missing," she says, before you even speak. "You'd best come in. The High Celebrant has questions and warnings."
Can I see what kind of fruits and vegetables are there?
Anything you can think of that grows in the summer, it appears to be here. The gardens of the temple seem to keep a very well-stocked larder for the acolytes and the priests and the deacons and all of the grand ones that reside within the temple grounds.
Okay.
The acolyte runs off to go and fetch the High Celebrant. Footsteps echo from the gloom within the temple, measured, deliberate, not hurried, but purposeful. The young acolyte steps aside, eyes lowered, as her superior emerges. Sister Valerian does not so much walk as glide, her robes crisp white with silver trim, untouched by dirt or dew, barely whisper against the stone. Her face is youthful, strikingly so, no more than 30 summers at most, but carved with a severity that ages her by presence alone. Her dark hair is drawn into a crown of intricate braids, and her pale hands are folded precisely before her, each finger aligned by some silent devotion to control. There is no kindness in her expression, but no cruelty either, only exactitude. She stops a few paces from you, tilts her head, eyes scanning with the warmth of a winter sun. "You are the ones asking after the missing," she says, not a question, but a confirmation. Like she's already weighed your souls and found them suitable for burden. "Their absence is troubling. Acolytes do not wander, they do not delay. They were meant to gather silverleaf and carrion moss from the eastern groves. That was 8 days ago." A pause. Her gaze lingers, as if considering how much to say to those still wearing dust from the road. "They are not the first to vanish in these woods, but they first that I sent myself."
You know there are rumors of bandits in the forests these days.
Really?
Oh, yes. There's talk of goblins and other things.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the information, lady.
Oh, if you happen to know anyone that could perhaps go and look for them, there is a healthy reward.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe if we're here longer, maybe we'll go for it, maybe.
I won't hold my hopes out.
Okay, thanks.
What do you want to do now?
I'll go to the tavern.
I suppose Kenora's got to find somewhere to stop your cart. Where on earth could you secure your cart? There's a nice stable round the back of the tavern. I suppose the question is, are you going to stay with your livelihood, your precious food business, or are you going to head straight inside the tavern?
I'm going to stay with my precious food, please. Yeah.
Well, you're pulling it. So.
Yeah.
Kenora pulls the cart round into the stable, and there's a stable boy mucking out one of the pens, and he looks up at you. It's like, "Oh, I don't think the boss likes to have traders round this side. If you're looking to set up, you're gonna have to set up round front, I'm afraid."
No, we're not doing anything here. We just need to put this here because, we're gonna stay here for a little bit. We need to rest, and we're just putting it here.
Oh, your customers. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's all right then. Oh, that's fine. If you don't mind, if you could put it right up in that corner, please, miss.
Okay, Conora, please put it in that corner. Okay.
You hop down, I assume, from your perch upon the top. Say, "Oh, the master, he's inside. He'll see to whatever you need. I just keep the stables clean, okay?
Okay.
And I'll keep an eye on your cart. It'll be safe out here.
Okay, thanks.
We shut the gates at night, so you know it's going to be safe."
Okay.
And the two of you head inside.
Inside the tavern is dim but welcoming. A hearth-fire burns low but steady at the far wall, casting amber light across the stone floor and the modest scattering of rough-hewn tables. The scent that greets you is a curious mix: aged ale and old pine mingled with hearth smoke, and an unmistakable undercurrent of boiled turnip and riverfish, like someone's cooking up a dare. Business is light, a pair of off-duty guards sharing a jug in the corner, while a weathered woman mends nets by the fire, humming a tune so low it might as well be a prayer. A black-feathered chicken roosts near the bar, asleep or possibly dead, it's hard to tell in this light. Behind the counter looms the innkeeper Bremen, a man who appears to have wrestled a barrel once and decided to become one. His vast gut strains against the brown doublet, and his prodigious moustache coils out like twin rat-tails dipped in wax. His cheeks are ruddy, his eyes beady and bright, with the kind of cheer found in men who drink more than they sell. "Well, well," he booms, polishing a mug with a rag that might have once been white. "Travellers by the looks of you, road-worn, hungry, and smell better than my regulars. Welcome to Brae's End. First round's off if you don't ask what's in the stew." He chuckled at his own joke. The chicken stirs. Somewhere behind the bar, something clinks ominously in a keg. Foyer's warm, ale's cold, gossip's free, though it might cost you sleep.
You've not got a lot of money on you at the moment because it's been a long journey down from the mountains. Your purses are lighter than you would like them to be. But you've got enough for food and drink and a decent night's rest.
Can we please go to our rooms?
Oh, you be wanting rooms for the night, do you? Or, yeah, we got space. You be wanting a twin, or do you want separates?
Separates, please.
No problem. Of course, you're gonna have to pay. You want pay separate, or you gonna do it as a single charge?
Single charge.
That's fine then. I'll put it on a single tab. That's fine. You could have any of the first 2 rooms up the stairs. That's fine. Now, food's extra, but we've always got something on the go. Usually stew, fish stew. That's pretty much all we got round here. Fish, cabbages, and turnips, and more fish.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you want a drink? Do you want anything to eat?
We'll have a drink. Is that alright?
I'll be fine for a little bit. You can have your drink.
Just one drink then.
He quickly dispenses a drink, slides it over to you. It's a rather foul-smelling, probably slightly fishy, and quite strongly cabbagey-smelling ale.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the drink.
Let's have our first roll of the game. Let's have a strength roll from Lyran.
Which one?
D20.
D.
And you want to roll under your dex.
11.
It's spot on. It's rather unpleasant, but it doesn't have any ill effects. And the barman looks at you and says, "What brings you into town then?"
We're just here for the festival because I have some food to give some people, so hopefully I win.
Oh, you're on your way to the city for the festival. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I hear it gets busy down there.
Yes, I know these kind of things can get really busy, so we're probably going to leave in the morning.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Anyone passing through, if they got the coin, they can have the rooms. Speaking of which, that'll be 2 gold pieces for the rooms for tonight. I'll leave you a tab for food and drink. You can pay that in the morning before you go.
Okay, thanks, sir.
I assume you're just going to head up to your rooms then.
Yes.
As you hit the bottom of the stairs, let's have Kenora make this roll. Just roll your d20 and let's find out what you get.
12.
Oh, okay. You're taking the back step on this one, and you're following Lyran up the stairs. And as you do, you hear a bit of commotion at the door.
Just as you begin your ascent up the creaking stairs, the warmth of the hearth clinging to your backs like a final reassurance, the tavern door slams open with a sound like a gunshot. Wind and drizzle whip in, carrying with it a man half staggering, half falling through the threshold. He's wrapped in a torn fishing cloak, soaked black with blood and river water. One arm dangles uselessly at his side, and his eyes are wide, too wide. The whites yellowed and twitching, as if trying to leap from his skull. Bremen curses and moves around the bar in a waddle that's surprisingly quick. A few patrons twist in their seats, but do not rise. They've seen men fall, they've heard worse things. The fisherman collapses onto the tavern floor, scrabbling with his good hand to pull himself up, as though even the floorboards may betray him. Blood pools beneath him, the smell cutting through the hearth smoke like iron and rot. "They're coming!" he gasps, a voice sharp, panic, thick with phlegm. "In the woods! They watch! They wait! Knock goblins! Beasts! Beastmen! Something! They're wrong, twisted. They move like smoke. They listen to the screaming." He laughs then, too loud, too sudden, and it turns into a choking sob. "I saw him get pulled. Oh, God help me. Pulled apart like bread." He grabs Bremen's sleeve, leaving a red smear. "You have to tell them. You have to bother them. They're moving closer. The trees, they're... He passes out, going limp in Bremen's arms. A sudden silence follows. Even the chicken hops off the bar, clucking once nervously. And Bremen looks up at the party, pale face beneath the whiskers. "Rooms are still yours," he mutters. "But we wouldn't wait till morning to start praying."